Hello there everybody, so Butter928 and welcome back to 999. Okay, so apparently I missed an opportunity and I was supposed to check the chicken, I guess, repeatedly. Let me see if there's, I wonder if the same thing could happen with the pork. Frozen piece of pork. Yeah, what's that? Oh, sorry. Oh, wait a minute, this is the same dialogue again. Something warm. Something warm. Oh yeah, didn't someone burn themselves something earlier? Yeah, Santa did actually. So where is that stove? Here it is. Guess I'll put this meat on the grill. Hey, what are you doing? What are you going to do if the paper burns? Come on, it'll be fine. I mean, it's not like it's gonna burn right away, right? We just gotta keep an eye on it and the paper will be fine. Well, they can argue all they want. I'm gonna keep an eye on this pork. Cool, looks like it's about time. I'm gonna try taking the paper out. Jumpy, be careful. Sweet of her to care, but I know what I'm... Ouch! See? I told you. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up and take the paper out. It's not coming out. This thing's frozen stiff. I can't get it out. So, are we going to have to cut the meat? Yeah, looks that way. We gotta cut open the meat to get to the paper. I should be able to use this knife to cut it. It's not working. This knife is too dull. Well, that's probably because it's all rusty. If we had something you could sharpen the knife with. Well, can I take the... Guess not. So we gotta go find something to sharpen the knife with. Pin roller! I don't know. What? The most conspicuous item and I can't even examine it? The trash can. There's nothing inside of it. Well, better than being full of rotten food, I suppose. Fair enough. Damn it, there's nothing in here. Hey Santa, digging through the trash really suits you. What the hell did you just say? Listen, lady, I did you a favor. I know you just piss and moan, so I did it for you. Oh my. I don't recall asking you to do anything. I ought to throttle you. Excuse me. Does it feel colder in here? What do we have here? What? Oh, it's a number code. This is probably what you're supposed to use to enter the password. Maybe if we put in the right number, it'll open the oven door. So I just gotta figure out what kind of passcode I'm looking for. Oh, shit, that's right. Where's my sketch? Ah, there it is. Right, I had to write down some stuff. Why the hell did I grab this and... Ah, here we go. Back to the number codes and all that good stuff. F9, B10, Soup A, CF, okay. Keep that over here to the side. Alright, let's continue what we were doing. Condiments! There are some bottles of seasoning in here. Oh. Never mind. It's only a partition. There's nothing else worth noting here. All we've got here is a pot and frying pan. Oh, and a pressure cooker. Well, I guess we could use some of those as weapons. What kind of an idiot are you? You're gonna run around holding that thing while you're looking for the dead? Hey man, it was just a joke. Why so serious? Is there nothing else around here? Oh. This is the door we came in through. It's not locked, so we should go back out, but... What's the point, right? All that's out is an iron gate and dead-end hallway. Yep. Might as well be locked for all the good going back out there we do. It's a card reader. Since the light's red, I figure it's probably still locked. The key card for it's gotta be around here somewhere. We just gotta find it. Right. But I also need to find something to... Oh, there's the meat. That's neat. I just realized I just realized what I did there. Okay. So we gotta find something to sharpen the meat. There's gotta be something around here. Well-kept countertop. Doesn't seem to be anything useful on it, though. How many digits is this gonna take?
Hey Junpei, why don't you try entering the numbers we found on the voucher earlier?
The one that said appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, soup fish dish F?
Yes. Convert the 10, A, and F to base 10.
Well, it's worth a shot. No dice. Looks like that's too many numbers. Looks like the number on the voucher isn't the actual passcode. So how do we figure this out? Maybe this table is preparing for food. Is for preparing food. There are plates everywhere. A sink. It's still got water in it. There's a couple of plates in that, but I don't think they're gonna help us much. But what if I drain the water? Well, I'll be damned. I got something. All right. Maybe I'll use the whetstone to sharpen the knife. The blade of the knife is getting sharper by the second. I should be able to cut something pretty good with this. Yes!
So, I guess you managed to sharpen the knife, Junpei.
What are you gonna stab? Oh, what are you gonna stab with that? No one!
You could probably cut something soft with that.
Yes. Something about as soft as meat, you could say. Alright, now that I've sharpened the knife. Yes, I cut the pork! Awesome, Junpei. Now I can cut out the paper. C plus 10 plus F. C plus 10 plus F. I about dropped my controller, that's not good. C plus 10. Oopsie. Ah! What have I done? I fixed it. Kind of. Okay, 6 plus 10 plus F. Let's see. If C equals 12 and F equals 15, so it would be 12 plus 10 plus 15. That would equal about, let's see, 27. That'd equal about 37. Right? What, we're not gonna eat the pork?
This is probably what you're supposed to use to enter the password. Maybe if you put it in the right number, it'll open the oven door. Junpei, maybe the note you found earlier.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know how to enter those numbers? I think E is for enter and C is for clearing.
So basically, when I'm ready to submit my answer, I press E. So if I screw up, I just press C, right? Lotus nodded. Alright, let's give it a shot. So it would have to be 37. What? Okay. C plus 10 plus F. Wait a minute. That's not it. C plus 10 plus F equals 37, right? Wait a minute. Ah, fuck. 3 digits. Huh? This is weird. Hey, you're just punching in random numbers, aren't you?
Maybe if you just enter it like it said in the hint.
Ah, shut up. Just shut up! C plus 10 plus F. C plus 10 plus F. Do you think it's some kind of code? Damn it, they're just screwing... Oh, sorry. Damn it, they're just screwing around.
Junpei, do you know what C and F stands for?
You think maybe it means corporate... Oh, you think it means corporate finance? I thought it was clever. I thought it was clever and funny.
C plus 10 plus F. Oh god, I am a fucking idiot. If C equals 12, F equals 15, that means 10 has to equal 16. So the actual... Okay, oh god, I feel so fucking stupid. Okay. Let's see. 12. 16 plus 15 equals 31. Plus 12 equals 43. So... There we go! Oh god, I feel so stupid.
It sounds like metal is falling. Well, I guess that went well.
Yeah,
The door opened!
good job, Jumpy.
What the hell's that?
Saturn keycard.
This looks like a lowercase h, but the line through it is throwing me off.
This is the symbol for Saturn. Remember? There was an elevator next to the main staircase. Wasn't there a mark like this on the card reader next to it?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I guess that means that card ain't gonna help us get out of this room then.
I'm not sure. Why don't we try it out?
Alright. No, I don't want to go back to the pork, as hungry as I am. Oh! Shit, it actually worked! Yes! I think it's unlocked now.
You did it, Jumpy. Let's get out of here.
Yes, let's go. That was disturbing. You found it!
I did it.
Oh,
I think we've been here before.
a metal grate stretched from wall to wall. Beyond it were two elevators and the entrance to the kitchen.
The elevators are over there, so that means...
We went into the kitchen through that door and came out on this side.
That means the map was right.
Looks like.
Then let's use it to plan our next move.
Next move?
Yeah, we need to decide where to go from here, don't we?
He's right. Let's get started.
From the looks of it, there are 4 possible routes. Let's just keep it simple and call them A, B, C, and D.
Oh boy.
First, A and B.
They both seem to connect to a room that looks L-shaped.
Yeah, there were 2 doors. But they were both locked. We couldn't open them.
Now, route C. This goes all the way to the main staircase.
That means it's door 5, one of the numbered doors.
Then do you think we would meet up with the other 4 after this hallway?
Possibly.
No, I don't think we will.
Oh?
Why not? Look, there by the stairs. See how the gate is opened? When we went into the kitchen, it was closed. But it's open now. What do you think that means?
They opened it.
Most likely.
And if we take Route C, we're going backwards.
That would be pointless.
Right.
Then that means...
All 4 looked at the map. The only option we have is Route D. They looked at the staircase, its lazy curve leading down, deeper into the ship.
Route D, then.
D it is.
Yup, Route D.
Then we're set.
Alright. They jogged down the stairs until they reached the C deck.
Everything looks okay here.
Let's check the next deck just to be sure.
Yeah, just like I thought. D-deck is totally underwater.
Great.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
The water gazed back at them, its smooth surface like a great
At
mirror.
least the water level hasn't really changed.
Small comfort.
May as well head back to C deck.
Right.
What else is here?
There are 2 elevators over there at the top of the stairs, just like the floor above.
Hold on. These are kind of different. See? There's a card reader on the side.
That's true.
Another strange mark.
And I don't think we have... No, we don't. We only have the Saturn card, so we need to find the card that has that symbol, don't we?
Hey, look, it's Lotus's symbol.
Huh?
See? It's the woman symbol with horns on it. Seems like.
That'll get you...
Oh, ouch, 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 ouch.
I was gonna say that'd get you smacked, but I think she just full throttle decked you. Lotus had taken hold of Junpei's hair. She began to shake him violently, and he thought he heard a low growl coming from her throat.
What was that about the mark again?
Nothing.
Such violence! Junpei began to wonder if she was not the devil itself. With an uncomfortable smile, June spoke up.
This is a Mercury symbol.
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna have to write that down. Just so I can remember this. So basically a woman symbol with horns. Mercury. Keep that in mind.
The horns symbolize the wings on Hermes' staff.
Oh!
Hermes, herpes, whatever.
Really? Really?
If we can't get this thing to work, these elevators aren't going anywhere.
In other words, we need a key card with the Mercury symbol on it.
Right.
Probably.
So we just gotta
I
go
guess we
look
can't get
for it.
on then. Let's just disregard the elevators for now.
How about this hallway on the left?
Whoa, there's so many doors.
Oh, good. One of these again. They weren't sure how many, but certainly enough to be discouraging.
Damn it. If we try and search all these, the sun's gonna go down before we've done half of them.
I think the sun already set.
I have a feeling this ship is the only thing that's going to be going down anytime soon.
That's even worse.
Yep.
Well, we can come back to this hallway later. Let's check the hallway on the other side, shall we?
Sure.
Time to head back to the stairs.
To their right was a small
And
hallway.
now the right hallway.
Quickly, they headed into it. Oh, this is much more manageable. It was approximately the same size as the alcove in front of the stairs. The hallway led toward the stern, and at its end was a set of double doors.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
That's not too bad. A door for each of us.
Let's open them.
All right, let's start with this one.
Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move.
Oh, it isn't locked. I'm going to open it.
Thrilled to have found an unlocked door, he threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw.
What?
Oh no! More of these doors! Oh, what the fuck? What are all these 3, 7, 8? He simply stood, unable to speak. The other simply stared, open-mouthed. After a few long moments, Santa managed to speak.
What the hell is this? This place is huge.
A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on the 4 companions. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds.
Oh, there are beds everywhere.
They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
Is this a hospital?
It looks like it. He had at last been able to put a name on the harsh scent that pervaded the room.
It definitely has the smell.
Could be. I see medicine cabinets and surgical tools.
Hey, look there. The 4 doors at the end.
One of them's not marked. 3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint.
The left door says 3. The second door is blank, but the third has a 7. And the rightmost door is 8. There's no doubt. They're numbered doors.
Great.
Why is the second door blank? That seems kind of strange, don't you think?
Yeah, it does.
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yes, that sounds like a good plan.
Junpei headed toward the doors, weaving his way between the beds. He started with door 3, on the left, and moved to the right until he reached door 8.
It's no use.
Well, of course. If it was that easy to open these doors, what would be the point of the notary game? We have to activate the red, or the numbered doors won't... Wait a minute.
What?
What's wrong?
Look, the display on the red. There's nothing on it.
Huh?
Don't
What
you remember? The red at the central staircase?
That's weird.
If no one was inside, it said vacant.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But this one...
There's nothing on it.
So it's... What the hell?
Right?
I wonder if it's broken.
Only one way to find out.
It's not responding.
All 4 took turns placing their hands over the red, but it refused to respond. They pulled the lever and still it did nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't only the red for door 8 that was behaving strangely.
How about the red on door 7? And door 3?
None of them are working.
What does it mean?
What the hell?
I knew it. They're broken. Zero sure sucks at maintenance.
No, that's impossible. You really think Zero, who prepared all of this, would make such a stupid, simple mistake?
Well, you have a fair point, Lotus.
Maybe, but that doesn't explain why this thing ain't working.
There's probably something we have to trigger to get the doors to work. It's at that moment that they heard a voice from behind them.
I believe the bottom of the device has been removed.
Snake? They spun around to see.
Snake!
Hey, dude! But it was more than just Snake. Ace!
Ace! Clover! 7!
Hey, guys! Although they were glad to see one another, it wasn't terribly surprising that they had. If it had been the other party who'd opened the gate in the front of the kitchen, it wasn't unreasonable that they'd bump into one another eventually. The rest of Snake's team, however, did look rather surprised.
How did you end up here?
Good question.
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
Good idea. After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of a smile, almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the 9th man. No, thought Junpei. Perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no. The 9th man had died. But they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought. The joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the 9th man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive.
There you have it. Our half of the story.
His part finished, Ace fell silent. For a moment, Junpei was silent, in thought. Then he spoke.
Okay, let me see if I got all this straight. When you guys got here, the bases for the Reds were already gone.
And you looked all over this room, but you couldn't find anything.
So you figured that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors.
So you went and had a look?
Yeah.
And while you were looking around, you heard voices.
Uh-huh.
Voices?
So you followed the voices and came back here.
Indeed. And that was how we found you.
Why don't we check those 3 Reds again, just in case?
You're right.
Yeah.
Huh. There's a long, thin gap on the bottom. I think it's a slot for something. Probably electronic.
Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, We can't keep going.
So we just gotta find some way to reactivate the red.
Well, what about that hallway over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go?
No, there isn't. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
Hospital rooms. That's what's behind all those doors?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however.
What was it?
I was able to get a good feel of it. I believe it was the symbol of Jupiter.
Oh.
Not again. Those goddamn things are everywhere.
I wonder what they all mean.
For a moment, everyone was silent, deep in thought.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
No, definitely not. Of all people, it was Seven who answered, and with calm confidence.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship.
A hospital ship?
Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic?
The Gigantic?
Junpei looked confused. So did everyone else.
What is this gigantic?
Seven knit his brows for a moment and then began to explain.
The Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. Actually, the Titanic had two sister ships, and they looked exactly the same. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that? One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gourdain bought her.
Lord Gourdain?
Seemed like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic.
Yeah, that's not unhealthy or anything like that.
Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself. Which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
So you're saying this Lord Gourdain bought this ship?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
Pipe down, just pay attention.
Yeah.
What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So, I just figured.
Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason.
Well, I mean, it's not illogical, I'd think.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean...
Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. Memory isn't back?
Excuse me? He felt legitimately shocked by what seemed to be new and very important information. Everyone else, however, seemed unimpressed. In fact, they all looked at Junpei as though he had said something very strange.
Yeah?
Your point being?
He decided to revise his attitude for the next question.
Wait, was I the only one that didn't know?
Everyone nodded.
Why?
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't tell you, huh? I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up.
What?
Huh? Then, almost as to save Junpei from further embarrassment, a bell began to ring from far away.
A bell?
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12. 12.
It's midnight. Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
Christ, we've already burned through 3? Wait. We've literally burned through that many hours?
We don't have any time to screw around. Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We split up and look, you dingus.
We've looked everywhere in this room. That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
That was a weird line read.
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Yeah.
Don't freak out. We've already searched 4 of them.
4 rooms?
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
Yeah, these are really weird line reads. Oh well, next recording will be Japanese dub this time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Christ! Her earlier experiences have apparently not encouraged Lotus to trust Seven. Seven scratches head awkwardly.
Maybe?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
Yeah.
Yes!
Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Yeah. Sounds straightforward enough.
I'll shout if I find any of the components we need.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If we can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Right. Then let's do this.
Yeah. The detail decided they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However... From far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
Oh boy. He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there. Ace, Santa, Clover, June, Seven, and Lotus. They had gathered in front of the door number 8. Or perhaps, to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to door number 8.
What are they doing over there?
Had one of them found the missing piece?
What happened, guys?
It was June who answered him.
Jumpy, look!
She was pointing at the red. He pushed through the others until he stood in front of it. What the... Immediately, he knew what she had meant.
Vacant.
Junpei sighed.
Come on, guys. Who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it.
Well...
Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths shut.
What the hell? What is up with you guys?
They all knew something he didn't, and Junpei wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know.
You don't know?
Huh?
When I got back, it was already like this. There was no one else here. That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red.
What? Let me see.
Huh? Junpei looked at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. The slot that had been open on the bottom was now covered with metal.
Right. It's in there. What about the other 2?
They're the same.
Let me take a look.
Junpei quickly examined the other 2 boxes.
It's just as you said.
Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others.
All right, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right?
Correct.
None.
Ace and June nodded silently. Seven raised his hands as if to say, not me, and Santa just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing.
Huh. Wait a minute.
That was when he noticed.
Where's Snake?
Uh-oh. Junpei swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen.
Does that mean that he found them?
I've no idea. There's nothing to suggest it, but nothing to suggest he didn't either.
Unless he was faking his blindness.
I don't suppose we'll know until we can ask him in person.
Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to?
Maybe he's lost.
Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see. I don't know how he gets around in the first place.
Clover raised her head.
No! That's impossible!
Suddenly, she was shouting.
Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing. He can get around as well as anyone who can see. So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible!
Clover had started to shake and the knuckles of her hands had gone white. She spun around, but before she did, Junpei noticed tears welling up in her eyes.
I'm gonna go look for him!
The words were barely out of her mouth when she began to run.
Hey, hold on, Clover. Wait!
Junpei cried out to her, but he was too slow. She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone.
Well, that didn't work.
No shit!
Damn it. What should we do now?
Well, the red is working now.
No! We're not leaving two people behind! We should go look for them!
Right!
Oh man, this ain't good.
Oh, yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more by looking for a couple of idiots.
Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We've only 5 hours left.
Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. In front of the staircase that led to B deck, they decided to split
Let's
up.
split up.
All right, I'll take this direction.
Then I shall look that way.
I'll be over here.
See you all later.
Soon, only 2 of them were left. Those 2 were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the others.
All right, we should go too.
Yes, let's go! But where should we start?
Let's see.
Oh. Okay, let's see. The casino on B deck, the first class cabin on B deck, the hallway with all the rooms. That would take too long. Back to the large hospital room. I doubt if we didn't see him in there, I don't know where. So, the first place I think I would have to look would have to be the casino.
How about the casino on B deck?
Okay, let's go, Jumpy.
They took off up the stairs at a run. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
She glanced up at him, unimpressed.
Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake.
I'm just not seeing it.
Really? Maybe you need to look harder.
I don't think that's the problem.
Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you two. Care to hear it?
What? What kind of proposal are you thinking of?
What is it?
Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right to it. Why don't we team up?
What do you mean?
Team up?
Yeah. What? You need me to explain it to you?
Yes.
I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door?
And just leave them?
Even if we wanted to, that's impossible.
Why?
Jumpy's bracelet number is 5, mine is 6, and yours is 8.
11 plus 8 is... Yeah, our digital root is 9.
Our digital root would be 1.
Wait. 11 is 8. Oh shit, yeah! I forgot how to math again! This game is designed to basically insult my math skills, and it's doing a damn good job because I'm a fucking idiot.
But there's no number 1 door in the large hospital room. The only doors there are 3, 7, and 8.
Then we add another person.
Huh?
Huh?
Who?
What, isn't that easy? 7.
Oh, if we add 7, 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 equals 26.
2 plus 6 equals 8.
The digital root of 26, 2 plus 6 equals 8.
And the 4 of them could go through the number 8 door.
Wait a
But...
minute. What about the other 4? Ace, Snake, Santa, and Clover.
Yeah, what about them?
Well, why don't you add them up?
That was simple enough.
1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10.
They wouldn't be
1 plus 0 equals 1.
they wouldn't be able to get out.
The digital root for those 4 would be 1.
That's right.
And you know the number 1 door isn't in the big hospital room, right?
Of course I know that.
No! Are you saying you'd leave them behind?
Seriously?
Of course not. What kind of woman do you think I am? Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them, couldn't we? Then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind.
But we're still going behind their back and leaving them.
Don't try to lie to us. I don't think you do anything of the sort.
Really? Why do you think that?
You were leaning against the wall, looking at your nails, hardly even attempting to look for Clover and Snake.
You remember, don't you? We have less than 5 hours left. Even if we manage to escape, there's no way we could come back to rescue them in less than 5 hours.
Well, you never know until you try.
No, you're not thinking this through. Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off the ship. The 4 of us couldn't open door 9. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
We wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, that's right. The digital root for the 4 of us would be 8, so we'd have to add Ace to make 9.
That's right. Unless we bring Ace too, we'll be stuck.
Lotus scratched the back of her ear.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
What?
That's all you have to say?
She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Junpei said, nor did she seem particularly surprised.
Well, let's try and find another way, okay? A way to get out of here with all 8 of us.
That's impossible. Are you being serious? And you do know that only 5 people, at most, can go through one of the numbered doors, right? The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
The moment he said it, Junpei felt a chill run down his spine.
Oh, wait just a second. You're skipping over a really big detail.
Yes. What she said was true, but how Lotus could remain cavalier about so terrifying a prospect was beyond him.
Is that really okay? That means 3 people will die in the end. Are you okay with that?
I'm not!
That's just...
Lotus's forehead
You
furrowed.
think I could have a moment alone? There are some things I need to think about.
Junpei and June turned and began walking away from Lotus.
That didn't turn out to be a very pleasant conversation.
No, it did not.
Yeah.
Junpei's heart felt heavy and his steps sluggish. But he told himself pessimism would get them nowhere.
Well, regardless,
So he forced himself to smile and turn to June.
let's just focus on finding Snake for now, okay?
Yes, you're right. We can think about those other things later.
Yeah.
Junpei nodded.
All right. Where should we go next?
Uh...
Let's go take a look at the first-class cabin. It's really close.
They turned around and took off down the hallway to their left. Outside the first-class cabin, they found Clover. She was standing in front of the wall. She was staring at a meaningless point in the wall, her eyes blank. What should Junpei do? Talk to her.
Are you all right?
He did his best to sound friendly, but Clover didn't respond.
Look, I know you're really worried, but...
He could think of no words to say that didn't sound hollow and fake. Junpei hesitated. Clover was so consumed by worry and fear that Junpei feared it would crush her. Her actions didn't surprise him. She had suddenly lost her brother, who she seemed to have been very close to.
Alone.
Her voice was thin and barely audible.
Alone.
Hmm?
Alone. I said leave me alone!
Suddenly she was screaming.
You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off!
Christ!
Go away, okay? Just go somewhere else! Stop bothering me!
Junpei was taken aback.
Uh,
Such anger and hate. June's eyes had gone wide with surprise as well.
Why are you still here? Did you hear me? Huh? Fine, forget it. If you aren't gonna leave, then I'll just...
All right, let's go, June.
Yeah.
They turned and left Clover. As they did, Junpei glanced back over her shoulder to see Clover wiping tears from her face. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed.
We really need to find Snake, for Clover's sake.
Right. He did his best to push away the misery and depression and forced a smile.
So, where do you think we should go next? Hey, why don't we go back to C-Deck? We can take a look at that hallway with all the rooms.
Okay, let's get going then.
Together they ran down the stairs.
Oh, it's Ace.
Ahead of them, farther down the hallway, they spotted Ace.
Hey, Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there!
What should Junpei do? Let Ace handle it.
Why don't we just leave this area to Ace? We can go somewhere else.
I don't mind. But where?
Well, let's see.
Back to the large hospital room,
Why
I
don't we
guess.
go back to the big hospital room?
Okay, let's go then.
They turned and headed back toward the large hospital room. I mean, Ace is basically yelling. Snake should be able to hear him.
Hey, wait. That's...
Santa? On their way to the large hospital room, Junpei and June noticed Santa standing next to the number 3 door.
Santa?
Junpei paused. What should Junpei do? Junpei and June walked up to Santa.
What are you doing?
What? You can't tell? I'm checking out the red.
Why? Is there something bothering you?
What? It's not bothering you?
Huh?
The guts of this red. Why wouldn't you wonder who the hell put it back in here?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious too, but...
Who do you think did it?
Huh? Santa's eyes narrowed as he looked at June. She shook her head.
I don't know.
Well, what about you, Junpei? Who do you think fixed this thing for us?
Well, Snake is blind. Then again, I'm gonna say it again. He might be faking it, possibly. But I'm trying to think logically here. I mean, Lotus said she was the first one, and oh my god. Ugh. Shit, I don't know what to pick. Okay, part of me thinks that Snake might be faking being blind. And there's a possibility that there's someone other than the 8 of them. There's also the possibility that Zero is doing this specifically to fuck with us, but... Okay, Clover ain't here, so she'll probably get pissed if I said this, but... I'm gonna go with my gut and say that Snake is probably faking being blind.
Well, it seems like it would have to be Snake, wouldn't it? Maybe he got back here before any of us. He found the parts somewhere, put them back, and then went through one of the numbered doors.
Now, I wouldn't suggest that.
No, it's not possible. You have to authenticate with at least 3 people, or the red won't open the door. There's no way a single person could get through there by themselves.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It was a stupid mistake, and Junpei knew it. How had he made such a foolish miscalculation? And how had Santa noticed it so quickly? Perhaps he just wasn't as clever as he used to be. Junpei shook his head sadly.
So, in other words, one of us is the person who fixed the red.
Santa grinned.
Bingo! We have a winner.
But if that's true, then the person who did it doesn't want the rest of us to know that they fixed it.
Yeah,
But why?
no idea. Maybe if they come clean on that, it means we'd find out something else. Something bad.
Something bad?
Dunno. But whatever it is, it's gotta be worth hiding. Of course, it could have something to do with Snake's disappearance.
Oh?
You think maybe they did something to Snake?
Yeah.
Junpei stared at Santa. There was something about him that made Junpei wary. At first, he'd assumed the other man wasn't terribly clever, but Junpei was beginning to think he would need to reevaluate that assessment. When Santa spoke again, his voice was quiet.
Look, if you trust anybody in this game, you're gonna lose. You've gotta be careful. The person you trust the most could turn out to be the one who stabs you in the back.
Yeah, you hating faith, hope, and love and all that stuff. With that depressing suggestion, he turned and quietly walked away.
That's that, I guess.
I guess. Junpei and June looked at one another and smiled awkwardly.
Let's go have a look at the hall with all the room.
I'll go wherever you do.
They quickened their pace and headed for the bow. Let's go talk to Ace.
Nobody's here.
Huh? Snake, of course, was nowhere to be
Let's
found.
look somewhere else.
But where?
Why don't we go back to the...
Okay, let's...
Okay, fine, let's end it. They turned and headed back toward the large hospital room. Let's finish searching.
I don't think anyone is here.
They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found.
Snake hasn't been anywhere we've searched.
Lotus looked around at his 6 frustrated faces and spoke.
We can't keep looking for him. Wherever he is, it's not here. We need to get moving.
Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Snake seemed to have completely disappeared. There was no point to wasting any more time. The others seemed to be having similar thoughts, but they stayed silent. Finally, 7 spoke.
We don't got a choice. Lotus is right. We're not gonna find Snake. There's a problem, though. We've got to figure out who's gonna go through which door.
Yes, I have a proposal.
What? She walked back and forth across the floor, her heels clicking against the wood. Finally, she stopped.
Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice?
What? What?
Sacrifice?
Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but yes. You've all figured it out by now, haven't you? We can't all make it through those doors. If we split into 2 teams of 4 and 3 people respectively, then 3 people will be left behind. If we split into 2 teams of 5 and 2 people respectively, then 2 people will be left behind. But if we split into 2 groups of 3 and leave 1 person out, then only 1 person will be left behind.
Fucking Christ, Lotus! Leaving behind 3 people with 2 teams of 4 and 3? Oh, come on! Leaving behind 3 people with 2 teams of 4 and 3. I don't want to leave behind... Junpei wasn't quite sure that was true.
Wait a minute. 2 people get left behind if we split into 5 and 2. And 1 person is left behind if we split into 3, 3, and 1. I got that part. You can't go through the numbered doors with any less than 3 people. But if we split into 4 and 3, then why do 3 people have to be left behind?
Just run the numbers. Let's say we go through door 7 with 1, 4, 5, 6. Who's left over?
That would be 3, 7, 8.
Oh god, it equals 9!
What's the digital root for that?
3 plus 7 plus 8 is 18, so add 1 and 8, 9.
Exactly. But door 9 isn't here, right? That means 3, 7, 8 won't be going anywhere.
Okay, what about
That was
8?
just an example, of course. There are a lot of different combinations, but the result will always be the same. It doesn't matter which 4 it is. The 3 that are left over can't go through any of the doors. Go ahead and calculate it if you have the time. You'll see. Anyway, that's how it is. Now, if we can get back to my proposal. We only have to sacrifice 1 person if we split into 3, 3, and 1.
When 7 spoke, his voice was strained.
Then... you're saying we gotta decide who's gonna stay behind.
Yes, we do. Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution. If the other 6 are to survive, then 1 person has to sacrifice themselves.
No, that's too cruel.
I mean...
What's so cruel about it?
To just sacrifice someone like that?
Then what's your plan? Maybe we should sacrifice 2 people instead of just 1.
But
That's not what I meant. We shouldn't sacrifice anyone.
I told you, that's impossible. Wake up.
Whoa, whoa, calm down, you two.
Santa stepped between Lotus and June.
Look, what Lotus is trying to say is, you should aim to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest amount of people, right?
Exactly. That's how democracy works.
But this isn't a.
And for that reason, I think the only fair way to decide who will be sacrificed is through a vote.
What?
What do you think?
No, that's terrible.
I'm not asking you. Shut up.
Hey!
What about you, Santa?
Me? Well, I agree, I guess.
All right, that's 1 vote for. Counting mine, that's 2. 7.
I can't say I agree with you, but we don't exactly have a choice. If we don't do something, we're all gonna die.
Oh, glad to see you get it. If I can get 1 more vote, then it's decided. What about you, Clover?
Clover had moved away from the group and was sitting on one of the beds. Her whole body drooped. Junpei didn't know if she'd even heard Lotus's proposal.
Hey, Clover,
Lotus walked over to Clover and gently laid a hand on her shoulder.
your brother has to be behind one of the numbered doors. We've searched everywhere, but we didn't find him. Doesn't that mean he has to have gone through one of them somehow?
But he would have. Clover slowly lifted her
Let's
face.
go look for him together, okay? If we sacrifice 1 person, then we can go look for him.
You're just manipulating her emotions, damn it!
You agree with me, right?
Okay.
Clover nodded once.
The motion carries.
Lotus spun around and walked toward Junpei.
Now, let's start a vote too.
That won't be necessary.
Ace had barely spoken for Lotus's entire speech and everyone jumped a little. 6 pairs of eyes turned to look at him. He didn't seem to notice or even care.
I will stay. That should solve our problem, yes?
Ace!
Ace, what are you saying? No, you can't do that. That won't solve anything.
June's voice shook and she looked around desperately for someone to agree with her. Ace simply looked at her.
June, I'm afraid you may have misunderstood me. I said I would stay, but I never said I would sacrifice myself.
Huh?
Wait, what?
I trust you, each and every one of you. I believe you'll come back for me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's optimistic, and then there's just nuts. Those doors only go one way. You go in, you don't come out. If we go through them.
You won't be able to return, correct?
Yeah.
True, but that will not be the case once you've escaped from the ship.
What?
Please, I beg you. Once you've escaped, come back and rescue me. Ideally, within the time limit Zero has given us.
Right.
No, that's ridiculous. There's no way we could get back in time.
Finally, Junpei could hold his tongue no longer.
We've only got 5 hours left. We don't even know where the hell we are. How on earth are we gonna find someone to come and rescue you?
Then, perhaps you would prefer to stay instead of me? Or perhaps you would be willing to leave June behind?
Ace's voice was dignified and without a hint of cruelty or malice. Junpei had no rebuttal.
You see, there's no other choice. Then I see we've come to our conclusion.
But
Go on. Don't worry yourselves about me. Go, quickly.
God. Junpei stood frozen by indecision, unable to move. June bit her lips so hard that Junpei feared she would break the skin. Santa stood against a wall, calm and aloof. 7 tore his beanie from his head and turned it over anxiously in his hands. Only Clover stared at Ace with an expression Junpei was unable to decipher. Lotus's attitude, however, was different from the others.
Good. Let's accept his kind offer then.
Lotus! She smiled, her eyes bright. Ace answered with a smile of his own.
Good. I think this is the best for me. Perhaps I'll be able to take a nap. It may be my age, but I get tired so easily these days.
Ace. As he spoke, Ace lowered himself down to the floor next to one of the beds. From somewhere deep in the ship, Junpei suddenly heard the screeching of metal on metal. It was almost as if the ship were screaming. Would it really hold until their time limit was up? Already D-Deck was flooded. In the sudden silence, the only sound was the sad metal wail of the ship. Unsurprisingly, it was Lotus who spoke first.
Well, what are you waiting for? We're wasting time. Why don't we hurry it up?
As if a spell had been broken, the others all began to talk at once.
You're right. We should get going. That's all we can do right now.
7.
Seriously. Honestly, I was getting kind of sick of listening to you guys talk.
You too, Santa? I have to find my brother. Wait, all of you. Let's just calm down and think about this. There has to be a way to get everyone out. There has to be. Right, Jumpy? Say something.
Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way.
His words sounded hollow and fake.
Fine! Forget about it. I'll figure it out on my own.
She spun around and ran toward Ace. He had slumped down next to the bed when June grabbed his arm and pulled.
Ace! Come on, Ace. Please stand up. You can't give up yet. We just have to sit down together and think about this. We'll figure out a way that we can all get out of here.
Then it happened. Ace fell forward. He slumped over onto the wooden floor, his body folded in half like a boxer out cold.
Ace!
June cried out and dropped to her knees beside him. She put her arm around his neck and did her best to lift him up.
What happened? Ace, say something!
She shook him frantically. His eyes fluttered open.
I'm all right.
His voice was weak and slightly slurred.
How are you all right?
This.
He held out his left arm and slowly opened his hand.
A syringe?
You did not just... In it was a syringe and a small vial. The vial was empty. It had only recently been emptied. A few drops clung to the sides. There was a label taped to the side of the container. It read, Sopril Beta. Sopril Beta?
Sopril Beta. What does this do? Did you use this?
Yes. It's just anesthetic. I'll be fine.
Anesthetic?
I found it earlier, while we were searching the hospital rooms. I thought it might be useful later. I didn't think I'd be using it on myself.
Why did you do this?
Didn't I tell you? I'd like to take a nap. I really am very tired.
Junpei knew that wasn't why he'd done it. Ace had injected himself with anesthetic to forestall Junpei and June's attempts to bring him along. If he couldn't move, there was nothing they could do. He'd injected himself so that they would be forced to leave him behind.
Ace!
Is there something you want to say? I'd just like to sleep a little. Could you keep it down?
No, don't, Ace. Don't fall asleep.
You feel warm. So comfortable. I think I'll have a nice dream.
Ace's eyelids dropped further and further. Almost as if he were...
Ace! Ace!
She shook his shoulder, again and again, but this time he didn't respond. Only the gentle rising and falling of his chest told him that he was alive. Junpei was relieved to see he was, in fact, still breathing.
Let's get him up on a bed.
He lifted Ace up off the floor and laid him on the bed he'd been leaning against. When When Junpei turned around, Lotus gave him a look of pity.
Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't let his sacrifice go to waste. Right?
Like you even mean that.
Of course not.
You say something?
No, nothing.
It felt wrong, but he had to agree. Then suddenly Santa spoke.
Yeah, we're not done choosing yet, are we?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, we haven't decided who's going in what door.
Ah, yes. Yes, that's true.
Enough of this screwing around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door do you want?
I want door number 8. It's the same number as my bracelet number.
Got it. You're 8. You're next, 7. Which one do you want?
I'll take 7. I can't get along with that old lady.
I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get along with her at this rate.
What? What did you just say?
Her face distorted by rage, Lotus took a step toward 7. He threw up his hands and made a face like a child caught with his hand in a cookie jar.
Who, me? I didn't say nothing.
Oh, you're gonna get it next time.
She shot him a glare that would have melted steel, then turned and stalked off.
Alright, who's next?
Santa's gaze moved across 3 people left. Finally, they stopped on Junpei.
Junpei, which door do you want?
At last, Junpei's mind was already made up. Okay. Yeah, that door 3 ain't gonna cut it. So let's see. Oh, give me a second. Here's the numbers of the people. Okay. So, 5 plus 7 plus 6. 11 plus 7. 18. Shit, I'm not gonna be able to go with 7. Okay. 5 plus 6 plus 8. 11. 19. Wait, what the? Oh, hold the phone here. Hold the phone. The math isn't adding up, is it? Wait a minute. I'm not gonna be able to go with June, am I? None of the options allow it to where I can actually go with June. What the fuck? Shit! I can't go with June no matter which door I pick. Fuck! That means June's gonna have to go. Wait. I don't like Lotus at this point. I can't choose door 3, that'd be pointless. Actually, I should probably save while I'm at it. Alright. Okay, Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here, time-wise. I need to really think about what choice I really want to go with here. Because right now, Ace is pretty much out. So the only doors we have are 3. Well, actually, the only options we have are 7 and 8. 3 would not work. I'm guessing that's one of the alternate routes. So I have to pick between 7 and 8. And I gotta figure out the math of what team I'm gonna be set up with depending on which door I pick. Because regardless, no matter which door I pick, June's not gonna be able to come with me. Fuck. So that's where I'm going to end it. I'm gonna think about which door I want to go with, and I'll probably pick the door that I'm going to stick with in the next episode. So if you guys like this, be sure to let me know. I know it's kind of a dick move, kind of leaving it off on a cliffhanger, but I really need to think about which door I want to go with. So, if you guys like this, be sure to let me know. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.